I don't know if you guys saw this. Fantastic Pixel Castle.
This is Greg Street, aka Ghostcrawler.
Hi, Ghostcrawler.
I have founded a new game studio that we call Fantastic Pixel Castle, and we plan to make an epic new MMO. Announcing our plans so early may seem a bit unusual, but we think the way to make the best possible game is by talking to you all, our community, early and often. That starts next week in a live stream where we plan to share more about the studio, the team, and yes, the game itself. Now, we are early in development, so don't expect to see gameplay footage, but if you're interested in our philosophy and our game pitch, we'd love to see you there. We even plan to answer some of your questions live.
November 8th, 2 p.m. Ghostcrawler talking about a new MMO. So, Fantastic Pixel Castle. We've been hearing some things. I guess we haven't heard that exact name, but we've been hearing some things about Ghostcrawler working on an MMO. November 8th, that's next week, 2 p.m. Maybe I'll live stream it and do a watch party for this as well. We'll see what they have in store for us. Like he said, it's not like we're getting gameplay and stuff like that. But in terms of philosophy, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's really, really, really important. If they're putting community first about like what kind of game do you guys actually want here? Let's build this thing versus let's just say different philosophy than that. So I'm excited about this. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be sick. What do you guys think about it? 6 to 8 year development time. Maybe not that long, but maybe close. Like it could be many years. You know what I mean? Just make sure I can tab target. That's one of the things that it seems like every MMO that comes out, they try to make it where you aim or have like only skill shots and stuff like that. And to be honest, like I really liked how New World did it, but it just seems like no MMO is doing like the WoW target focus system. And I've got to be honest, man, maybe it's just because I'm a WoW player. I love the WoW target focus system. I think it's fantastic. Maybe it's because I'm a boomer. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe the Zoomers hate that. Maybe it's archaic and a dinosaur. But I think it feels great to play on the WoW targeting system and the focus system. I actually really like the focus system. The fact that focus isn't in classic, like I like focus a lot. I think it's a cool system to be able to target one guy and focus another. They didn't add focus till TBC, right? I thought it was great. I'm a zoomer and I like it. Guys, WoW targeting and focus system, W or L? Very biased question here because we're all WoW players, but still. I see only W's. I see a couple L's. If you guys could choose the next biggest MMO, like say this game does take off, Ghost, codename Ghost. Say this game does take off. Would you guys want to see the WoW focus target system in Ghost, or would you rather see an aim-based system or a skill shot-based system or something like that? I like a combo. Yes, yes, yes. AoE, yes. For me, the target-based system and focus-based system that WoW uses allows WoW to have an incredible skill cap that other games don't have, because when you have target and focused, you can really start going into like high APM, almost like playing a piano with different abilities on different targets very, very quickly and very, very in sync. And when you are aiming abilities, I'm not saying it's easy, but it turns more into like an FPS, which once again, I'm not saying I hate. Like I said, I enjoyed New World's aiming system, but it just feels more like you're playing an FPS, which isn't a bad thing. But when you're making an MMO, do you want the MMO to feel like an MMO, or do you want the MMO to feel more like an FPS? And if you have everything like first person aimed, it kind of just feels like you're playing an FPS, or third person even. WoW is the sweet spot between New World and Baldur's Gate. Yeah, so Baldur's Gate is top down. I would be so mad if this MMO or Riot's MMO, to be honest, I don't like, maybe this isn't fair for me to say. To be honest, I don't want to play any MMO that's top down, because I instantly feel like I have zero immersion. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know what to say. Like, I just don't think top down is ever a good idea in any MMO. It makes it feel like you're playing StarCraft, which I loved StarCraft, but StarCraft's an RTS. And that's fine. But when you're playing an MMO, you want to pretend you are the character. And when you're looking down at your character clicking around, it doesn't feel like you're that character at all. Yeah, Lost Ark, I actually kind of enjoyed Lost Ark, but my least favorite thing about Lost Ark was top down. RuneScape was top down, and I loved RuneScape, but I would still say one of my least favorite things about RuneScape is that it was top down. Still, straight up. When I'm playing an MMO, I want to be able to jump, you know, jump around, maneuver. Third person or first person. Probably third person is the best, but first person could maybe work. But when you're like that zoomed out and you're just looking down at a character, it's like, what the hell is going on here? What does top down mean? Looking above your character and you click to move the character. Like Pokemon or League of Legends or Baldur's Gate 3, or for me it just kind of ruins the immersion of it. It's like, you know, you have the game, you're playing from above. Now you have third person video games, and that's how WoW is. You're looking over the shoulder of the character that you're playing, right? That's personally my favorite. I think third person is my favorite. You know, that's how Fallout was. That's how New World is. That's how WoW is, right? I love third person. And then of course you have first person video game. And first person is obviously you're like in the characters, you know, you're the character. All you see is the hands, which I guess you play Oblivion that way too. The reason I don't get to grips with MMOs aside from WoW is the movement feels clunky. Yeah, so like if I were to write these guys a checklist of things to be successful, I feel like one of the biggest things would be, yeah, okay. One of the biggest things I feel like would be like the engine and like how, like the smoothness of the game. I think WoW is so successful because of this one reason. I mean, there's a million other reasons, but I feel like this has got to be at the top of the top of things that I hear the most from WoW players and from my own experience. That when you play WoW, there is zero lag. When you press the keybind, there's no delay, there's no inertia. It's just snappy, man. Snappy, bro. And I feel like every MMO, the first thing players do is they log in and they just move around and see, is this an MMO I could see myself spending time in based on how it feels, right? Crispy, I like that. Crispiness. Not crippiness, but crispiness. So yeah, I feel like that's got to be number one. For sure. Every time. And then number two, I would talk about like the combat system of like targeting and stuff like that. And whether or not it's like third person or first or top down. And like making the right choices here is really big. And making the right choices here is really big. You know? And then number three, I feel like is everything else. But you know what? Like that's what I think they should focus on. But this is what big companies do. Every damn time. Number one, they focus on graphics. Hello? Hello? Why? That has nothing to do with anything. Every time. I don't know why. Two, they focus on lore and music and sounds and stuff like that. Which, once again, I'm not against these things, but they're putting it above the things that really matter, man. And then number three, that's everything else. And it's like, this is what game companies should do when they make an MMO, is making the right choices here. And this is what they actually do right here. Graphics, lore, music, sounds, and then everything else kind of gets shoved. And it's just like, If you're an MMO gamer, like what we care about is logging in and being able to move really crispy and being able to have a targeted and combat system that makes sense. And the rest of the stuff, not that it doesn't matter, but it is going to fall after these things, because no one's going to play a game if 1 and 2 aren't set in place right. I don't know if Pixel Castle will watch this stream or video or whatever, but if they do, that's my take on it. They don't care about gamers. They want to please investors and shareholders. Yeah, I think it's a fair point to make that once companies go public, they have investors that funded the company, and the company has the moral responsibility to pay back their shareholders, right? At least that's how people think about it a lot. And from there, it gets tricky because then your hands are tied. Legal, not moral. Yeah, I took a business ethics class and we talked about their moral responsibility towards it, but I guess that would be a much longer and deeper conversation that we want to get in here right now. Fiduciary responsibility, let's go with that one, sure. But yeah, still, the point is, once you're at that position and your company's public, it's not making decisions for you anymore. It's like, how can this best serve the company? And that puts you in a tricky spot because it takes the passion out of things. It becomes less of a passion project and more of a monetization machine. And when you're in that position, that factors into every decision, right? Yo, Albtar, thanks for the bits, man. I appreciate it. Albtar, thanks for the bits again. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks, Dub. I appreciate it, man. Do you ever think there'd be a world where you had big muscles? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going for big muscles. That's why I'm staying real lean and small. Kind of like that Bruce Lee kind of a look. How difficult is Classic WoW for new starters? I think Classic WoW is pretty easy to get into. Maybe I'm biased because I've played it my whole life. I think retail is kind of hard to get into, but I think Classic WoW isn't that bad to get into. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, yeah. It looks perfect like that, yeah. Battle Mage build, I would love that in some MMO. Easy to get into, hard to get out of. Yeah. I appreciate your positive attitude towards life. I try. Thanks, Dove Bomb. Alright. Alright, so tomorrow, guys, BlizzCon schedule. Be there. I think we'll probably be streaming it all day. The 3rd and the 4th. We'll just be kind of watch partying that. We might get some gaming, like, in between announcements we don't care about. But for the most part, maybe we'll focus on that. And I think there's a section on Twitch called, like, Special Events Twitch or something. Yes, this is it. Special events. So I'll probably be streaming in this category tomorrow.